Yeah, what did you want to go over?
I just figure we just talk about all the DC nonsense that's been going
Run,
on.
run it. Whatever the stuff is, from the Black Adam flop to James Gunn doing what he chose to do yesterday, or was it yesterday or the day out 2 days ago with Henry Cavill and stuff like that. I'm with it. Let's get to it.
All right, let me do a quick intro here.
Run it.
What is up, boyos? Welcome to another one of these things. We're going to be talking about the DCU. I'll probably leave
Yes.
that little snippet of us talking right there at the beginning. I'm joined. My name is Jake, and I'm joined today by Jordan Blaine of New Comga.
What's
Uh,
up?
and So basically, the last time we talked, we talked about the not so much DC. We were just talking about all of Warner Brothers. I think last time we
Yeah, what
talked.
was going on before the shift and stuff like that? I
Yeah,
believe. Yeah.
that was like right when uh
What was it? The
Z-
merger started.
what's the
Yeah.
guy's name?
David
Zaslav.
Zaslav.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when that guy took over and all the HBO stuff. But since
Yeah.
then, there's been a lot of stuff that's happened. James Gunn and Peter Safran created the DCU. Um, the Snyderverse appears to be officially dead. Um,
Yeah.
Henry Cavill came back and then he left again.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot going on there. I guess like to start, what did what did you think of the Snyderverse to begin with?
Okay. I told you a long time ago. I think if Zack Snyder was left to do what he originally wanted to do, I think it would be have been beautiful. Because I remember watching Batman versus Superman in the movie theaters, and the theatrical version was just horrible. It was just boring. When I watched the Ultimate edition of it, I was in awe. I was like, if this was in the movie theater, even though it was like 3 hours long, if this was in the movie theater, I would have been sitting there like, okay, like, let's go. Like, this is Snyderverse is on. But that wasn't. You had to wait to get that at home. And I could see why that movie had failed. But I felt like if you had put that 3 hour version in there, that movie would have blew up. But they didn't do that. They gave us a version that to me was so horrible that by the time we got to the part where he yelled Martha, I was like, yeah, their moms have the same name. Oh my God, this is happening right now. I didn't even enjoy that fight. I remember the feeling. I was so let down by that movie when I watched the theatrical version. Then Justice League, of course, he didn't get to finish the first one. Joss Whedon failed the first one, sadly. It's very sad to say when you see something like that. However, when Zack Snyder was given the opportunity to completely finish his vision, people dislike it because they say, oh, it's too much like the first one. Well, if the first one was his, movie, if it was his vision just cut down, then of course it was like the first one. But to watch the complete version of it was so cool. The only problem is it was just way too long. And it was way too long, and they really sat up there and chose to like super overpower my guy. Like, we wanted to show the Flash running back through time through the universe to create the universe in the first movie.
Right.
And then his first movie is supposed to be Flashpoint, and from what it looks like, movie's gonna go nowhere now after all the news that's been coming out. And I just, man, I don't understand.
Well, and
I
the second movie with Superman was the death of Superman, which seems really
Right,
rushed.
right. Like we were doing a lot of the rushing from the old stuff that happened into the new stuff. Just it was like to get it over with. And it's like, why are we doing this so early? Like, we had one movie, you're right. His sequel, literally, if it was his death. And
Yeah.
then Justice League was him coming back. And of course we knew he was gonna come back in Justice League.
Yeah.
There's not gonna be a Justice League movie without Superman. So I mean, the Snyderverse, to me, I told you it should be an alternate universe. I think that, excuse me, James
You're good.
Gunn should keep it as a separate universe and use it potentially when they do a multiverse. When they do a, if the, let's just be real, DC is known for doing it. The 52, you know what I'm saying? How the new 52 they were using that, and
Right.
before that they were using it. They don't have to go with the multiverse stuff, but I think if you're gonna pull in another team of Justice Leaguers to be either the bad Justice League, like the Injustice, or you know what I'm saying, or the what are they called, the Crime Syndicate, have it be the Snyderverse version. Bring the Ben Affleck back, Henry Cavill. That's what you run them, and that would be dope. That would be beautiful. It's not that they were the evil versions, but it's like respect to Snyder still.
Yeah.
That would just be cool to see. Now, that's all I hope. He leaves it as that. I would still like to see a Batman TV series with starring Ben Affleck. Like no bull. Even if the Snyderverse is dead, if you guys are going with the multiverse thing, then please give us multiple versions. Just bring Ben Affleck back for that. Get him somehow. But as for what it came to Henry Cavill, he only signed on for cameos in his contract. There was nothing showing that he had signed on to be Superman. That he was signed on to be okay. He had signed on to be Superman, but he had signed on to be Superman for cameos, not for movies. So there's a lot of people out there that are saying that he got fired by James Gunn, and it's like he wasn't. He had already done his work. He had already
Right.
done his work. Yeah, he was. They were working. They were trying to see if they could work something out. But we're just going to be real about this. Black Adam failed. If Black Adam was a hit success and had sold out and made almost what they said they needed 500 to 600 million in order to do this, I believe that Henry Cavill would have been signed on and that we would see the continuation of that. But as seen right now with the Black just unfollow or the Black with
The
the
Rock.
Rock just unfollowing what is it? I think the Black Adam account and something else. He
Warner
just
Brothers, I think.
Yeah, he just unfollowed them.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah,
look,
it's
speak.
I think that sums up the Snyderverse for me is just the failure of it.
Yeah.
Because even if you loved it, you hated it, which personally, I thought there were some real gems in there. Like, I really like the Harley Quinn movie, whatever it was called, The Birds of Prey. And,
Yeah, I wish I could. I
you
think
didn't
there are
like it?
moments I like. No, there are moments that I like. Like, I loved Black Canary in it.
Yeah.
I've been waiting forever for her. Like, seriously, I was happy to see that her and Huntress were in that movie together. I just wish that the Birds of Prey movie had actually gotten around to everybody a lot more wholly and didn't just focus on Harley Quinn. Not, and that's nothing against her because people say, "Oh, well, she's the bigger character." I get it; she's way more popular.
Yeah.
But
It felt more
that
like a setup
movie,
movie for sure.
but see, that movie did the same thing that Black Adam did, and that was the problem. Instead of focusing on all the characters, it focused on one. And like if Black Adam had focused on the JSA, some of them, and actually told two of their stories and showed some stuff and got into it and showed why Aldous Hawkman was over there trying to say heroes don't kill so heavily, even though the funniest scene ever is we're here for peace and global stability. Inner Gang has been here for 27 years. Oh, heroes don't kill. Like, dude totally changed up and said nothing. And I was like, I said that too. I was like, it's like, are they gonna say that? That was the one good thing about Black Adam. The heroes got put on point. And when they got put on point, they just completely and utterly were like, deny, deny, deny. Like, no, nothing. He's evil. We have to stop him. Yeah, no, you're gonna stop him from killing the dudes that have been occupying us for 27 years. So you're cool with oppression. That's totally fine. Oppression is fine, but power isn't. Oh, okay. And they were totally showing that, and I felt, and I
Yeah.
was all like, that was the beautiful thing about Black Adam. And it's sad that it didn't sell because when I saw Henry Cavill back, I called this. I said it. I said this cameo is going to go nowhere. I said DC is notorious for giving his cameos that do nothing. Now, this is going to sound, I know I'm not supposed to say this, but I love Deathstroke. As a villain, I love Deathstroke. I love the Deathstroke that's not doing it to teenagers named Tara, though. You know, the versions where they undo that. As a villain, I
Yeah.
love him. He's an evil man. When they showed Joe Manganiello or Manganiello, whatever, I'm sorry, I don't know his last. I know his last name, but I don't know how to pronounce it right now.
Yeah.
I was hyped. I wanted to see him, and then they said he was supposed to be going against Ben Affleck's Batman. I was
Yeah.
super hyped. I was, especially after watching the Batman Arkham Origins opening where Deathstroke and Batman fight. Oh my god! Like I was hyped, and that never went anywhere. And that was the end of it. And the reason it didn't go anywhere is because of the fact of that movie. It wasn't up to par, and they failed. And right now, with what James Gunn is doing, people are all talking about fire him. They want him gone. They think he's gonna fail the DCU. Dude, the DC has been failing itself partially because of what WB did to Zack Snyder's vision. And if WB comes in and does that to James Gunn's vision, then it will be the same thing. It will be a skewed version and it will be nasty. The studio needs to let Gunn do exactly what they didn't let Snyder do. And that I'll always say that was the problem. They never let Snyder do his vision fully. Because when we watched his vision, we loved it. The only problem is it's just too long. He seriously should have did a Justice. I see why he wanted to do Justice League Part 1 and Part 2, but that movie alone should have been Justice League Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah.
And they should have dropped a year apart to open up. He should have been, if they were going to go for different, they were going to go for different. But sometimes I feel like Zack Snyder was doing that just because like Avengers was at a very far place in their stuff. And he didn't have to. He understood Superman when it came down to him. I like the question that he asked in that, but there was some other stuff that he, like Batman killing people. How don't get me wrong, I know he's done it in the comic and stuff like that, but when he had him killing the people that was in the cars, like Batman not taking people down like Batman would, not using guns and stuff like that. That's Batman type stuff. But this was his version of it, so we had to accept it. But still, Ben Affleck was badass on how he was killing those dudes in that warehouse. But I'm just saying, right now, James Gunn said they're going. Oh, so James Gunn had teased Kingdom Come. People are sitting up over here. They're trying to talk about, this aged horribly. Kingdom Come stars an older Superman. Now that Henry Cavill is out, the reason he could have teased that is because he most likely possibly might want to bring him back for that to play the evil Superman there, or the older Superman, not evil, sorry, older Superman there for something when a bigger event comes. We don't know. I think it's beautiful that we're letting the Snyderverse go, and that we're, instead of the DCEU, we're now coming into the DCU. I'm being hopeful for the DCU like I'm being hopeful for Phase 5 of Marvel. Because Phase 4 of Marvel was great for me. They said they're going to cut back from TV and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to make this about Marvel. It's not. But I kind of knew that they were going to cut back due to the fact that when you look at the hours added on for each phase, like Phase 1 and 2 are like this and this. And then you see Phase 3, it's like a little bit more. And then Phase 4 is like, because all the TV show hours.
Right.
And you don't need that many TV shows. In all reality, they only need 2 or 3 out of all that they've produced when it comes to each thing, especially for like Star Wars and stuff. But I am hoping that with Peacemaker's success, the DCU will also start doing TV shows and bringing the side characters. Like don't get me wrong, Titans is okay, but they need to do a Titans that's going to connect to the movies. A Titans that I'll be able to see Superboy next to Superman, Robin next to Batman in the movie, and you're like, where have we seen them from? Like, he's from the TV show. Like, they did the TV show, and the TV show's epic. 8 episodes. You don't have to do much more than that. Okay, Watchmen us, or 9 episodes. Give us something solid. That's it. But open it up, make it expansive. It's like a comic book, and I'm hoping they do that. And a lot of people are saying they're out because Cavill's no longer he's no longer in. Dude was never hired back on. He did his work already.
Well, and yeah, that's there's a few things there. Like, I always wondered about Snyder and like how much of what those movies were his vision and like what he actually wanted to do, and how much of it was like the studio was like, we need to do Death of Superman. And like, so I always wondered that. But then like with James Gunn, I think the difference between James Gunn and Zack Snyder, the big difference I'm sensing now is they created their own DC studios, and they said, hey, you're the head of it. Like, you're in charge. And that's what gives me hope about James Gunn, more so than I had with Zack Snyder. Because Zack Snyder never seemed like the guy. He just seemed like a director who worked for Warner Brothers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. So, he shouldn't have been the one helming the ship. I feel.
So I always wondered about that. And then Henry Cavill, I made a TikTok about this recently where I was like, you know, I don't think any of us would really be that upset about Henry Cavill not being back if it weren't for Dwayne Johnson forcing him to be in Black Adam, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think before that, we weren't even thinking about Henry Cavill. I think we were all
No.
like, yeah, he's moved on. He's the Witcher
Yeah,
now,
right.
So I think a lot of that has to do with Black Adam, but it seems like the Snyderverse is just, yeah, it's completely dead. I like the idea of some more TV shows. I do wonder the future of Peacemaker, because Peacemaker was part of the Snyderverse. We
Right.
saw Ezra Miller, and we saw it was Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller.
Hmm.
So that
And
connects
if
it.
Jason Momoa's out as Lobo, or going to be Lobo and out as Aquaman,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Well, and also we saw Harcourt in Black Adam. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that
He
that
was. Right.
connects
Right.
them pretty heavily to the Snyderverse. Although
Right.
the only thing really connecting Black Adam to the Snyderverse, ironically, is Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
So like I wonder
Because
if,
yeah. Oh, and Amanda Waller.
oh shit, you're right, and
Yeah.
Amanda
Amanda
Waller.
Waller.
So I guess it's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's set in stone. My problem is, I don't want them to recast Amanda Waller.
I know. There's a few
Yeah.
people that I really love, like
Yeah.
her as Amanda Waller. Obviously, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, and of course Jared Leto as Joker. No, I'm just kidding.
I think they should use this Flash movie and have him mess everything up.
Yeah.
Have him mess everything up, and then let the Flash movie be the thing that brings in the DCU.
Well, they could
let
do
us- yeah.
sort of like what they did in the comics a few years back when
Mhm.
New 52 wasn't working out, where they like kept some
Oh, yeah.
things and got
No,
rid.
so basically they had the other superheroes in another universe, or they were on the same universe. They were just being quiet because that Superman was alive the entire time,
Right.
and stuff like that. Yeah, and then they brought back the originals and stuff, and they're like, yeah, so we're gonna come out of retirement because y'all are just messing up.
Yeah, but then they kept the same Batman. Like it got weird.
Yeah.
So they could do something like that where it's like, hey,
I
the
just
continuities are
think that-
kind of
yeah.
like whatever we want to do.
But the beautiful thing about it is basically if Flash messes up, they can make anything they want to because the Speed Force touches any and everything. So if he messes up, we've been told that we're going to be getting a younger Superman. Does Flash run back in time, and does Flash himself become younger, and we switch out Ezra Miller for a brand new actor that looks something like him or nothing like him? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm
they
still
can go there. Yeah,
I'm still
that's the beauty of superhero movies.
I'm still convinced that it's its own thing, and they're just fresh rebooting it. Because
it could be.
I think the main thing, and not enough people are saying this. I think the main thing with James Gunn is I don't think they fully know yet. Like he just got in there, and I think they're still in the writing phase.
Well,
they're still trying to figure it out. Yeah. So I think their plan probably is like, hey, let's just write stuff. We've got like 4 DC movies coming out. We'll let those come out, and by the time those comes out, we'll do a big announcement of what the DCU looks like.
Well, I think they'll start. I think they'll start filming something. I think they'll start filming something, and they'll keep it extremely hush hush. Because what they want to do is, like you said, they have the time. They have all the time in the world. We don't need to see anything. Our focus right now needs to be on the DC that's coming out.
Yeah.
So once that's done, they're going to want to drop something that's hot, and they're going to want to drop something that's going to catch our hearts. So now we already seen the Batman came through this year. The Batman came through, shit on everybody else. Shit on everybody else. Did what it did, and has shown us that Batman can always lead DC. There will always be a Batman movie, and we will always go see it. Superman can lead DC, but you guys got to do Superman right. It's just easier for Batman though, because his following is just bigger. That's just simple thing about it. His following is so much bigger. He will get the paper when it comes down to it. You do a good Batman movie, he's gonna get the paper. But I was seeing how.
Just wonder if we're at the point though. I wonder if we're at the point where it's like, I don't want another Batman.
Oh no, I do.
I want another
Ben Affleck.
I want another Ben Affleck Pattinson one, but like, do I want another rebooted Batman?
No. Oh, yeah, okay. So here's my thing that I was saying about this. This would be really cool. I said it would be really cool if they were doing an not older, but like 30-year-old Batman instead of the 50-year-old Batman that we were seeing. Yeah. Because That way, you can have Pattinson be the younger version if you ever wanted to bring it in,
Which
and have
ironically, he is
just
30. So,
yeah, and the Justice League version would be the older version of him if we wanted to do two different Batmans.
but you think they'd
But
be
I
connected,
mean,
or just
if they were ever to connect it, and you know what I'm saying, through the multiverse thing.
okay?
But if it's not connected through that, I think they should just do an older Batman. Do we have to give Batman another reboot origin movie? No, but I think whatever Batman comes for this new Batman that they're choosing to be a part of the Justice League, I think that they just need to make sure that they put the reasons behind his motivations of going out there. Like, everyone always starts up with the scenes of his parents getting killed. Don't do it this time. Don't bring that in softly during the movie at moments where he's Batman going through something. Like that hits subtly but hard. Bring the action like what you showed us with Ben Affleck, like how he was wrecking people. You don't have to have him killing, but I'm just saying, bring us the grittiness of that is him. If this is Dark Knight, he's that version. If he's not, run it.
I just
But
think like the thing you're describing is the Batman. Like we kind
the
of
Batman, the only thing that was off for the Batman for me was the only reason I say like Ben Affleck is because I want him to be more out of touch. The Batman, he was new, he was a rookie at it. That's why he got shot by the shotgun. That's why certain things happened that made that beautiful. That's what made the movie way more beautiful. Is there was moments where he was caught off guard, but thank God he was, he blocked or he did something and he was fine.
So
But
it's funny because a lot of people are saying they don't want the Batman to be the starting point. And James Gunn has come out and said like, "Oh, that's not our starting point, blah blah blah."
most likely it'll be Superman.
Yeah, but they're saying the Batman, like the movie The Batman, is not the starting point of the new DCU.
No. Yeah, not the
and
Batman.
I feel like I'm the only person like
who wants it to be.
I kind of want it to be, and everyone keeps saying like, "But the Batman's so grounded." I don't see it that way. The movie ended with the whole city getting flooded, and like
here's my thing. Yeah,
they talk about a giant bat and like man bat and like
what is wrong with Batman's movies being grounded? Like I'm not understanding there doesn't have to be an alien invasion. There doesn't have to.
Yeah, I guess what they're saying is like you can't have the Batman be the start of the DCU if it's so grounded because then it complicates things when you introduce Superman. But I think a Superman would fit into that universe.
Wait. Time out. You can't say that. Not you. Not that you're saying that. The people that do say that.
Yeah.
How do you say that while watching the Snyderverse, where Batman was Batman 20 years ago, and now Superman has just arrived on the planet, and we're watching it happen?
I guess.
How can you say that?
I guess like Affleck's Batman is a bit campier because he's like kind of ridiculous. So
in Batman versus Superman, Ben Affleck was I like how they had him. In the Justice League, when they did the rewrites to make him funny, I hated it. I couldn't stand it. I was all like, well, I get why you guys are doing this, but out of all the characters that is not supposed to make fun of anything, it's that one. He is supposed to hold a scowl on his face. Batman only makes a joke when everybody's like, is this like really joking right now? Did he just do that right now? He doesn't make a joke to make multiple jokes for the movie. And when he did those, every time I said, damn it, they're trying to be like the MCU. And then I remembered it was Joss Whedon, and I was like, damn it. Joss Whedon, stop doing this.
Trying to turn Bruce Wayne into Tony Stark.
Yeah, trying to make it likable. And it's like, no, don't do that. Like, don't you're taking Batman out of character of Batman. And what we need to do is leave Batman as Batman. Batman runs the Justice League. Don't get it twisted. He's number one, okay? Superman is number two. There's a reason he's number one, okay? This brilliance right here.
Dude, I feel like The Batman, the movie, is such a great starting point for the DCU because it's like a young Batman. He's figuring out how to be Bruce Wayne. It's like, oh, how can I use my money for good? I can start this initiative. And like, it just seems so good. And I know Zack Snyder, I know James Gunn is like, no, it's not happening. But in the back of my head, I'm like, what if he's just saying that? So then when the next The Batman comes out, the end credit scene comes and we're like, oh shit, it is connected. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. I think that a lot of stuff right now is being built and masked in disguise
Right.
because he has to.
Yeah, he
And
doesn't want to
I
say
think,
what's up. Yeah.
yeah, and for me, sometimes I don't like to be tricked. If you tell me something's not going to happen and then it happens, I get annoyed with that. So
I
my
get that.
thing is
Yeah.
my my thing is if somebody asks you a question, just don't answer it. If you're going to answer and say no, we can't, we'll never do that, and then you do it and try to what's it called? Come on, bro. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't a surprise. I didn't want to. You said it wasn't going to happen, so I was never going to expect it. And then you try to turn that energy into, oh my god, they did it. No, look, I just if you tell me right now you're gonna begin to it, that's what's up. Okay, I'm on fire. I'm lit. I can't wait. But there's people trying to say they're out of the DCU over this stuff, and it's just funny. And it's like you guys should have gone and seen Black Adam at least 10 or 20 more times for everybody else that didn't.
Yeah.
That's all I
True.
can say. Because Black Panther's winning, and
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do about that. And I think I think Black Adam maybe should have been pushed back till after Black Panther, but who knows? Or
Yeah.
way before.
I mean, it was just a few weeks before, right? Like it was.
Yeah,
It did
it
get
was
the.
because it was like
It got the head
3 weeks
start,
and
but
then it
it's.
started.
Yeah.
Yeah, once Black Panther dropped, Black Adam didn't do nothing. It was gone.
Yeah, but they were at the point
Yeah,
where they're like, we got to release this thing.
and see, and
we
for
pushed it back for
yeah,
15 years. Like we got to release this thing.
and Black Adam for me was just it was a okay. It was a mixture of a '90s superhero movie,
That's what it
a
felt like.
a Fox X-Men film,
Yeah.
the bad parts of a MCU film, with the sprinkle of the Terminator. That's what it was, and it was
Yeah.
horror. It was just a. It was. People asked me that I didn't like it. I said it was entertaining. It was entertaining. That's all I could say about it. It was entertaining. Past that, it was just horrible.
It's
It was
also a
just,
movie like once it's over, it's gone. You just forget.
yeah,
It's just out of your head,
right,
you know?
right. And the fact that I'm mad that the fans for DC have not yet understood that they do a lot of stuff to see whether they want to just get your money. Now, don't get me wrong. Had you guys made it out for Black Adam, they would have we would be continuing it. I didn't make it out to Black Adam. Nothing against it. I just as soon as I saw it, I like Black Adam, but when I saw The Rock, I knew what type of movie it's going to be. It's going to be an okay, bland movie. And that's nothing against The Rock. The Rock has starred in better stuff. I'll put it that way. But I enjoyed more of the
I'll put it
supporting
against The
characters.
Rock.
I enjoyed more of the supporting characters than I did The Rock. Like Aldous Hodge,
Oh, Pierce
everybody that was
Brosnan was
in there.
great.
Yeah, even the mom and the son.
Yeah.
And oh, my boy Mo, the comedian, the brother. If
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't know who he is, check out Netflix. He's got a show. His name is Mo. It's a great show. It's funny as hell too, and it's very real also. But watch it, man. Oh my God, Mo had me dying, especially when Dr. Fate was healing him, and he was all like, "Just don't go near electricity." And he said, "I'm an electrician." And I was like, "That's funny." But yeah, the whole entire supporting cast was great. One shout out that I want to make too. Did anybody notice Captain Singh from The Flash? Did you didn't notice him in the movie? If
No.
you go and look in the movie, Captain Singh from The Flash is in the movie as one of the basically the Kondakians. He is. You'll see him like, dude. You can type in his name and everything. It'll show him he's in the movie, and I love to see him there because when I saw him, I said that's dope. That meant that somebody from this movie in DC was like, I know my guy who works on The Flash. Let me give him a call, and I'm gonna have him come be a Kondakian, and gave him some work there. Because when I saw him, I said, "Hey, it's Sing, man." I was like, that right there even is cooler because Sing on The Flash, and then if you ever watch Arrow episodes earlier, he was a criminal and gets captured by Arrow in one of the episodes and tortured. And I laugh when I see that because I did, damn man, you went from a criminal in one show to the captain in another. But at the same time, that's them giving their actors love right there. It's like, yeah, you starred for this as if here we actually have a better part for you now. So you want to come through? He must have made some relations, but that was dope to see that they actually use him from there. It made me say, oh my God, it's a multiverse. Like, I know you don't like it, but even though he's not the same person, when you look at him, he's just not Captain Singh. He's a Kondakian there. And he's there. He's got like 2 or 3 scenes. at the end he ends up yelling with the kid and doing some stuff and also walking the people in, like where he gets his, and that's it. That's all he really has in the movie. But when you see him, you're gonna be like, oh wow, that is really Captain Singh. I didn't notice that.
Interesting. I'll have to look into that. I think you were saying you don't want to hold it against The Rock. I'm going to hold it against The Rock. Because hear me out.
Tried his best. Do your thing.
Hear me out. I feel like The Rock like really overstepped his control here. And I know he produced he produced the movie, so he does have a say and a right to, get involved with the politics of the movie. But I feel like the only reason Henry Cavill came back is because of The Rock. And a lot of people will praise him for that. Not me. Like he shouldn't have been in there, especially after hearing that he was offered a cameo in Shazam, and he said, I only want to be playing with the big leagues. And it's like, bro, like, do you not understand this character? Like, his whole thing is like with Shazam, like, bro. And also, like, there's always been a clause. I don't know if you know about this about The Rock, and it became a big issue with the Fast and Furious movies. Bigger reason why he's not in them anymore.
He can't get beat up.
He can't get beat. So, like, that's so lame. That's so lame as an actor.
It really is.
I get it as like a wrestler. You don't want to get beat or whatever. But like, dude, you're not a wrestler anymore. You're an actor, and sometimes you just gotta do the thing. The
reason why I would remove that clause is pretty soon. I kind of want to play the villain. Like this entire time, The Rock's always the good guy,
right?
So he can't be beat. So I mean, I can never make you the villain, and unless you make him the villain that actually wins, that would be new. Oh wait, they did just do that and it failed. Like I'm playing, it was an anti-villain.
Yeah, he wasn't even really. The only way you knew he was a villain was because he kept saying it.
He was attempting to use his presence to really bring this movie to life, and they were trying to use the backstory to get people to come to feel the heart of it. That it took 15 years and all that stuff. Yeah. And no offense, man, I still haven't seen a Green Lantern movie. I still haven't seen a Cyborg movie. I still haven't seen a Martian Manhunter movie. I haven't seen a Batman movie since the Batman, but back when we were still doing all of these, I hadn't even seen any of them. But we sure did do a Black Adam movie.
Yeah, or The Flash, or like there's so many movies that are like that should have come before this.
Yeah, and I think with Shazam coming, I think it set up Black Adam, but I don't even think their stories meshed because in the movies it showed two different things. And so I just think they should have took their time with this, that they really wanted to do it, and I don't think they did. I don't think they hurried it, but I think when it came down to them telling the story for it, they just didn't. They really wanted to go their own route, like you said. If he produced most of it, and that was a bad idea. They should have gotten a lot more help than what they had. And this could have been even more brilliant. Because my problem was, the JSA has been here this entire time?
Yeah.
Totally?
Yeah. It's like, I guess we just know about superheroes now in this universe. But
right. I watched the movie one time, laughed at it. Then I watched the movie the second time, and there was many moments that I didn't laugh at. And because now here, the second time I watched it, that things were setting in. Like when the Atom jumps out of the ship, and when he jumps out of the ship the first time, he hops off onto a building and he's looking directly down at them. Then the next scene is an explosion and he's running away from the building, and it's meant to be funny. But when you notice when you actually pay attention this time, and it's not the first time you see it, you notice you just saw them down there. How did you see them down there in a hole, and now you're running all the way backwards down a long street? That just doesn't. It's a good edit. Don't get me wrong. When I saw it, I was like, it looks clean. But I said, there's no way you saw them down in a hole and said, oh man, why is the street so long? Maybe they're all the way over there. After you just hopped out of the thing from the top of the building. And I said, damn, that's bad. I said, you guys meant to be funny, but you didn't think about the implications on him dropping out right there. He should have, if anything, he should have dropped out on the other street where he couldn't see them, and then it'd have been hilarious to see him not running towards them. But now that I've seen this the second time and it's setting in on me, why? And telling him that the man in black sent you? Oh, God. Oh
man.
God.
Yeah. That's the Snyderverse, though, is like, it's just like, why? why are you doing this? Like I remember,
I'm so ready.
and the reason I'm like I'm still kind of excited about what James Gunn's going to do. For one, he's James Gunn,
Super
and
excited.
he
Yeah, right.
he doesn't miss. Like
Right. Right.
both Guardians movies, I love them. The holiday
Right.
special, I really liked.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, I loved, and
Yeah.
Peacemaker, I loved. So like,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he does, and they're finally doing the thing that I think all of us have been saying for decades, where it's like, hey, why don't you guys actually like get a Kevin Feige? Why don't you guys actually get a
Yeah.
studio? Why don't you guys
Why are you?
actually
Yeah.
plan this out?
Mm.
And it finally seems like they're doing that. They're under new leadership. They've got James Gunn as creative, Peter Safran as more of the business mind.
I can say this one thing. This is the one smart move that David Zaslav made was appointing both these gentlemen to the position right here
Yeah,
to focus on the next 10 years of this and to push out stuff. Now we need to see whether he's willing to let them make their decisions and live with it, or is he going to step in and do something
right.
like last time, and will they fail? Because I believe that James Gunn is going to make it. I think he will sell out. People can say they're over here. What is that? They're going to be protesting DC because Henry Cavill's out and stuff like that. Man, just get over it. Like seriously, I'll put it this way: Man of Steel dropped in 2013. That is 9 years ago. The fact that you honestly really wanted to wait 10 years, a whole decade to get the second movie, that you were willing for that, shows how much you love Superman. And I got love for that. But my thing is, somebody told me, oh, they were saying something about me allowing Henry Cavill to leave and that nobody else could take the place of him as Superman. I'm sorry to tell you guys, now that you're getting older and that you're still not the main characters past you being your main characters, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the superheroes we see, they're not going to get older on the main screen. They're always going to get younger because we were kids and they were young like us. And then we got as young as them. And now we're getting older. So they're always going to be younger than us. So I think it's great to see that Henry Cavill's in his 30s. I'm in my 30s. Superman was in his 30s. That's cool. I can go watch Man of Steel and say, damn, that's me in my 30s right there. But the truth of the matter is he's always young. Smallville. Look at everything that's been going on. Even he's not young. If you want to see an older Superman, go see Superman and Lois, which is one of my favorite shows. If you haven't watched it, it's him being a father of two teenage sons with Lois, two teenage twin sons. Go check that out. Older Superman is there. Season 3 is coming. But we're getting younger Superman. They're always gonna get younger. There's always gonna be a new actor for, and I love how Henry Cavill said that too, because basically he said there's always gonna be Superman. And I'm gonna say this because this is the truth. I wish they had that same energy for T'Challa. That they said there's always gonna be a Black Panther. There's always going to be an actor to play T'Challa. T'Challa's character is never going to die, like Superman will never die.
I mean,
But
there
they
is a
didn't say that.
T'Challa, no spoilers, but
Oh God, that is the worst move ever. That
I
is
I
for me.
also thought that was super
Yeah,
cringe, but
yeah.
uh,
It was what's it called? Spoiler alert. It was yeah. It was what's it called?
everybody
But
was like in love with that decision at the end of the movie, and I was just like,
and
that
I
is
just said,
stupid.
what? Huh?
Oh yeah,
What? This
yeah.
this isn't. Okay. Yeah. No.
But like Henry
That
Cavill
was
isn't like he's like what, the third on screen or big
what is it?
screen Superman, like,
Yeah, because there was Brandon Roof. There was Christopher Reeves.
and then George
Who else was
Reeves,
there?
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Originally. Yeah.
like, it's not like he's the
Yeah.
first one to do it, you
No.
know?
Yeah. Exactly.
It's
It
not like
the
Tony Stark where
mantle.
it's like there literally has been
Right.
one.
The mantle will always be passed on. That's
Yeah.
just what's going to happen. There's been Dean Cain has played him in a TV show. There's been man, it goes
Yeah.
on. Tom Welling,
Yeah, yeah,
like, come on.
exactly.
Tyler Hoechlin is him right now. They always are going to have a Superman.
Yeah.
So I get people have love for Henry Cavill. Again, can't hate. Love for Superman. Can't hate. But you guys got to accept that. The actor is gone. The character is going to live on. You're just mad you didn't get to see the actor live up to his full potential as a character. Same way I feel it's T'Challa. It's the truth, and I feel it. It's something that's eating at you and it's driving at you. But I mean, I could say something's good. I said Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is a good movie. It's not a classic like the first one, but it's good. That's what I want to be able to say. Whatever's coming up now is going to be a classic because they're starting something new. The DCU is something new. That's as simple as it is. And people are hating on this new thing. And it's time. We need to stop playing around. The DCEU failed. We need to admit it. We need to accept it. Move on. Build something new because Marvel is in phase 4 going strong. DC is not even in phase 1 going strong. Come on, man.
And
And they've had and
in some
speak.
ways, I think like DC being in their phase 1, well, Marvel is now, struggling to get by in their phase 5 is almost a benefit to them. Because
And
now
no, it is.
they're starting
Strike,
fresh.
strike when the iron is hot.
Yeah.
Strike.
Well, because
Okay.
now, no hate to any of the characters that are currently in Marvel, but we've got like Miss Marvel and like Moon Knight, who I love both of those shows and I love those characters, but for like a fan, that's not Iron Man, but DC, they're hitting you with Superman,
Yeah, they're
Batman,
hitting you with their
Wonder
A
Woman,
game right now.
like,
Yeah.
and a lot of Marvel's A game right now are dead. Black
Yeah, they're
Widow
gone.
dead, Iron Man dead,
Until they
Hulk
rebring the
some
other A
sort of
games.
weird thing. T'Challa not around anymore. So
Right,
like,
right. Yeah.
so Marvel's in this weird spot where DC is like, we're
Don't get
about
me
to hit you
wrong.
with like,
As much as I want to hate on Shuri, they got A game with the new Black
oh
Panther.
yeah, she was great.
As much as I want to hate, they still got A game with Spider Man, even though they don't know who he is at all.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's yeah.
they got A game with Captain Marvel, but I'm just mad that we haven't got to see another Avengers movie yet. And no, that way I feel about that. That's how happy I want that anger to be happiness towards me seeing a Justice League movie, a new one from the DCU, with their stories finally being explored. What routes they take, I want to see. I want to see the DCU's version of the League of Assassins. I want to see a lot of things. We got a lot of time. I want them to build this stuff, take their time, but I want TV series that include some stuff. They don't have to go overboard. Just make it perfect. You like you said, right now, time is hot. The iron strike, man. Take what's yours because, like you said, this is the perfect time where Marvel is going through a transition. This whole phase was about grief. That's what it seemed, and they need to take this moment while Marvel's at the funeral before they get back home to do what they can before they return to the city. Do what you can, DC. Party it up, live it up, get your name up, okay? Because Marvel coming back pretty soon. That's just what it's going to be. Because the X-Men drop in 2025. You got till then to take over.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing about getting a new guy to play Clark Kent versus bringing Henry Cavill, how long is it going to be before Henry Cavill's like, okay, I've done this for like 20 years now. I just kind of want to move
Yeah,
on.
and then I don't want to do
you
it.
want to
Yeah.
bring in a guy that's fresh, that wants to do this for a long time because
He's trying to make a career out of this, like Harry Potter was, Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah, type stuff.
or like, I look at it as like he's like James Bond, and when you bring in a new Bond, you expect like, hey, we're gonna get 3 to 4 movies out of this guy, potentially more now with cameos and stuff for these guys. So, you want to bring in a guy that's fresh. If Henry Cavill was the guy, I think we'd get 1, maybe 2 movies out of him before he's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
The only reason I'm mad that there's not going to be any Henry Cavill is just because of the fact that I've been wanting to see Superboy and Supergirl in the movies, and Superboy's in the Titans. But again, that show is not perfect.
Yeah.
They should totally. I wanted him to be older because then you can have them. You can have them in the show. You can have them in the movies. But since we're not doing that, we have to push on.
Here's the thing, though. Like, we live in a world now where we just saw Tobey Maguire in a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, right.
So,
Well,
like, who knows? In 10 years,
they want to do.
In 10 years, who knows? We could see Henry Cavill back again. And, just to pivot off of that, we're getting rumors and talks that both Ben Affleck and Jason Momoa are going to be back in different roles, potentially in the DCU. Momoa, of course, back as Lobo. Did I lose you? Still here?
No, I'm right here.
Oh, okay. I thought you said hold on one second. Okay, sorry. But Momoa back as potentially Lobo, and Ben Affleck is rumored that he might direct a movie. So be it be Lobo or whatever he's going to direct. Maybe he does direct the Batman movie, but not be Batman. Maybe he's Thomas Wayne. Who knows?
That would be dope. That
That
would be that could be ways to owe the Snyderverse at the same time moving on.
Yeah. So and
Yeah.
and there's rumors too that Henry Cavill might be back as somebody. So
I think if he runs the Kingdom Come, or I think either way, when we see another evil Superman, Henry Cavill will be that character, and I think that will be beautiful. Or if we see another Superman from a timeline that comes out to be good, or a whole another Justice League, it will be them, and I think that will be even more beautiful.
There are rumors that they're making an Invincible movie. He could just go be Omni Man.
Man, that would be sick, and I can't wait for the update on Invincible in January for season 2.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, January it's coming. So get ready to see what they're going to tell us.
Oh god, I'm so excited for that. That show rules.
Right.
I wonder what's up with Gal Gadot though, because I feel like she hasn't said anything. I know Patty Jenkins. There was the rumor that she quit and it was nasty, but then she put out a statement saying that that's not true.
It was all good. Yeah. She had a direction that she wanted to go. The studio didn't want to go that direction.
Yeah, maybe it was nasty, but like, you know, it's business, so she had to.
Well,
who knows? Who knows?
And I was kind of mad because out of all the trilogy, they should have just finished their third movie. But everybody hated the second movie so much because of what they did to it, and I was like, I actually loved the second movie. The only thing I didn't like about I liked it for what it was. I didn't like it for what it could have been. Because there was her versus Cheetah fight, to me should have been one of the greatest DC fights ever. Instead, it was the Trolley Fest.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest nemesis, and you know,
and it didn't. What's it called? And I think that I think along with Patty being in there doing it, I think if it was Zack Snyder that brought the action in movie 1, there was a reason that we didn't have that in movie 2, and that was because he was missing from that. And there's a lot I take away from him, but the movie 1 action and everything that happened in that, well, it was going down.
The biggest problem for me with Wonder Woman 2 was the fact that, like, in the first movie, she didn't even really know about men. And then in the second movie, it's been decades and decades and decades. And she's like, I'm still obsessed about, you know, Trevor or whatever. And
first love.
I get that, but it's been decades and decades. And then she's like, I'm basically going to have sex with a dead man and someone else's body. I don't know if that's date rape or what, but like, it seemed a little weird. I wasn't in love with that whole story arc.
I feel it.
Yeah, but I still would have liked to see a Wonder Woman 3 because for multiple reasons. For one, I really like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I think she is perfect as that character, and Patty Jenkins is an all-timer when it comes to directors. So like, it's a damn shame we won't see a third one. Yeah, but I get it. It is. I get it. I think they're literally just like cutting it. They're like, hey, we like it too, but we gotta make the hard decisions and just cut it. You know.
They did it's time to move on. So whatever's comes past that, we're gonna switch up. So I feel it. I hate that we didn't get to see it. I hate how DC characters are being treated right now, but I believe in James Gunn and Peter Safran. Now, if they come out and make horrible movies, and then that's what it is. But I don't think that. I think these guys are going to take it under their wing. James Gunn's really close to the comics, and I think he's going to take his time and build something beautiful that we're going to enjoy and want to go to the movie theaters for. And we really need to believe in him. What else you got?
Okay, so here's a couple more things I want to talk to you about. For one, currently, let me list these off.
Hold on, 1 second.
Yeah, for sure. We lost Jordan. Let me list these off. Right now, Shazam, current release date. Release date March 17th, 2023. Aquaman, December 25th, 2023. And The Flash, June 16th, 2023. Do you think... and James Gunn said that Peacemaker 2 is still happening.
Good.
So do you think that these movies, for one, come out on these dates? And for two, do they come out in theaters or do they just drop them on streamers?
Let's see. They're not going to drop them to stream. based on how much money they paid for each movie, especially Aquaman. They're over 205 million deep. They're not gonna.
Well,
They'd rather send it to
and
yeah.
Shazam,
So they'd rather
they're
send
already like, I feel like they're
yeah.
pushing it too hard at this point.
No, which is good. They needed to because they didn't advertise the first Shazam at all. So they're gonna release them in movies. If not, they're gonna cancel them. They're gonna take the loss. I don't think they're gonna send them straight to stream. But
I think the
they'll release
Flash
the movies.
is a wild card, though. I think that
That's gonna
could.
go. That's gonna happen because they're putting money behind him to make him not look like a criminal right now. So yeah,
It's too late for that,
that's
eh?
oh no, it's never too late when you got enough money apparently in America. So yeah,
Yeah.
so they're gonna try to clean him up because he's still young enough that if Ezra does a good job, if Ezra's movie sells and makes over $1 billion, they will have him restart the universe and come back as the Flash with the whole next set. That's just the truth of it. Money talks.
I
And
hope
it's sad
not,
to
man.
say that. Yeah, I hope not either. I'm not going to be partaking in going to see this Flash movie.
If it's on
That's
streamer, I
just
might
me.
watch it, but like, yeah, I don't.
I'm definitely going to see it, just not in theaters.
Yeah.
Like that's just yeah. Because I'm going to have a
Wink, wink.
an opinion on it. Yeah, I gotta have an opinion on it. So I'm gonna see it, but I'm not. Yeah, it's not getting. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of the Flash, that brings us to the question of Michael Keaton, who was supposed to be in the Flash, and rumors just
All
came
right.
out now that said that they were kind of working towards a Batman Beyond storyline with him.
And that got canceled,
yeah.
sadly.
And he was supposed to be a Batgirl. Oh
Now,
man,
see that could all see that stuff can all happen. It just depends on what. I'm not saying they're gonna do Batman Beyond right now, but we could still see that in the future with James Gunn's vision. But we just need to see. To me, right now, what the fans need to be doing is with how James Gunn is teasing us with stuff. We need to be taking pictures of what we want to see and teasing him with that and hitting him with that on his Twitter, showing him what we want, stuff that he'll read, look at, formulate a plan for, add it into, and you'll be able to see it on screen instead of all the people crying to fire him. He runs it. There's nothing you can do about it. That's like asking for your manager to get fired. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen at all. So stop asking for it. Now, just know this suggestion box works. And if you put in enough suggestions, he's gonna look at that because much as everybody's like right now, they're all starting. I want to see if you guys really love Henry Cavill. Where's the hashtag petition for Henry Cavill? I don't see none of that. I don't see shit trending. Tell this man what you guys want to see.
Yeah, but I do wonder if DC is a little hesitant to fall for some of that stuff because I think I have this feeling that the Justice League, the Snyder cut of the Justice League, wasn't a huge success for them the way they thought it would be. So like, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I think they're on the edge. But as far as like Michael Keaton, you say like that could still happen. The thing about the Michael Keaton being Batman again is, they got to do it soon. The man is 71 years old.
Wrong. Yes, he's old. He's old as hell. But they're not. If they don't do it here and now, it's still doable within the next 2 or 3 years if they ever go into it. Oh, my bad. Yeah, it's still good within the next 5 years. I get what you're saying. He's getting older because within the next 5 years they can actually build up enough to go into an event for something.
True.
And he can actually be the Batman that comes back in time or goes or does something. I get it.
Yeah, I guess if you could have Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones movie, you can have.
Oh my God, that's CG. I believe that's fully CG.
Oh yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny. What else you got?
I guess the last thing here, really, I have to talk about is the future of the both Joker 2 and the Matt Reeves Batman universe. Like, do you think we get multiple Batmans, or do you think this next The Batman is the last The Batman?
Put it this way, if it makes money, I think they'll do it. I think if it doesn't make money, they won't do it. I think they will have multiple Batman movies, just like they will have the Joker and when they had Jared Leto, because the universes are set apart. They're their own. If they're going to be like that, they don't find anything wrong with that. I wouldn't either. If I'm paying you and we're making cash off of this movie, and then the other Batman's making cash too, what's crazier is people are going to compare them. Either they're going to compare them and hate them, or compare them and like them. And you're hoping that they're going to you want to give us Batman. Batman is a character that you can always give us more of, and we're going to enjoy it. but just make sure you're doing it right and make sure it's beautiful because that is Batman. Like that's who he is. And plus DC Detective Comics, Like I don't think Joker I think Joker two's numbers, yeah, it comes down to money. We'll see how they do. If they sell and they make it, they could make more movies. If they don't sell, they're done. And that's as simple as it is. If the Batman 2 doesn't make any money, it will not be receiving a sequel because right now with the future, we're trying to make another Batman in the DCU. Why would we? There would be no what's that word? I'm trying to remember right now. They would have no damn, it was in my head too. There would be no reason though. There'd be no reason at all. There would be no validation. I can't validate why would I have you if we're not making money from you and we're doing another Batman movie.
Yeah. I tend to agree. I mean, it does come down to money. I think Joker 2 is probably a good place to just wrap it up there, like
Yeah,
it's
because it's supposed to be a musical.
Yeah, it's
so
already
I was like,
it's already kind of weird that they're making a sequel, but I'm all about it. Lady Gaga's playing Harley Quinn. I'm cool with that. But then, as far as I know you say like we can have as much Batman as we want and we'll never get sick of it, but then it's like, but then you think of Star Wars where it's like we thought that about Star Wars too, and then they kept releasing Star Wars movies and they started to bomb.
But the Star Wars movies are garbage because they had a fight in the Star Wars movie. We had one director do something, then the next movie, the other director shed on it and spat on it, and then the last movie is that director coming back to fix that. And
yeah, but the one that lost the money though was Solo, So
oh yeah, no, that movie was what's it called? So you're right about that when it comes to Solo, but you could see the Star Wars TV shows are immaculate.
Yeah, for
everybody loves. They're calling Andor the best live action series.
I love that show. It's fucking amazing, dude. You got to watch it if you haven't.
I saw it. It just never really took. It was good, but I never.
Did you finish it?
I went through all 12 episodes.
Oh man, that ending was so good.
Like, I don't know. I was just sitting over there watching it, like, okay, like, so when does it take off? It had its moments where it took off and action happened. Don't get me wrong, I screamed when certain characters got killed, but because I had watched Rogue One, I kind of knew what to expect already, and I was all like,
dude, I was really compelled with the Mon Mothma stuff. I was just like, man, what's happening with her? And then the undercover guy. Skarsgård.
But they did. I'll put it this way: when it came down to the writing and stuff like that, this was very different, and it was more thought out. It was more planned, and it was really beautiful. But my problem is I guess I'm not used to that when I watch Star Wars. When it came to the Mandalorian, when it came to Obi-Wan, when it came to Boba Fett, I've been fed those ones, and I'm so used to that when I watch this one. I was like, okay, so this one's completely going to be opposite. But you're right. I give it to the brilliance of the story, but for me, for some reason, it never took off for me. Yeah, I like at the opening when he had the guard and the guard was standing there. I was like, shoot him already. What are you waiting for? And then he shot him, and I was like, all right, cool, come on, let's get it moving. Like, I knew you have to do that because apparently wherever we are, we shouldn't be, and they knew they shouldn't have done that, and we shouldn't have done this. But let's keep. I don't know. Maybe it was just like, oh, this is everyday life for somebody. And I was like, it was don't get me wrong. I'm glad they showed it. The fact that his mom died and stuff like that, everything, it was telling his full story. Maybe I could be holding a grudge from him because I knew what he was trying to do in Rogue One and how much of an asshole he was there. I don't know. I felt like that too because I was like, ain't that the guy that was trying to kill old girl daddy? And then was just trying to be, what's it called? I was like, because I started off the series not liking it. And by the end of the series, I had a little bit more respect for him, but I was still like, I still don't like you somewhat. I was like, I get why you did. I get why you murked off all the people you murked off. I'm not hating you for that, dude. That shit was ill. Because it's like the one dude that tried to sit there and tell him, let's just take the money and run. I was like, all right, shoot him before. Don't even, what's it called? Don't even try to talk to him. Just shoot him. And then he just popped him off. I said, good man, because he was gonna shoot you if you didn't shoot him. Like, I like that they did that, but that wasn't enough to sell me. I feel like that should be done more in Star Wars because we see it. I mean, not Son. Han Solo shot the dude at the bar or whatever. The Han shot thing, and we saw people get murdered there too, but for some reason they get killed so fast it never sets in like it does in Andor. It just doesn't.
I think that's what they were going for, was a little bit more like, hey, this is a rebellion and this is what rebellions actually look like.
And I mean, I like that too. I like that they showed, because I always wondered how they were making it. What's it called? And they showed the slave labor for it and everything. That is beautiful. But the thing about Star Wars that I'm starting to notice is I'd never want to be in that universe, because they're always oppressed. There is no such thing as freedom. And then I laugh because I'm like, damn it, it looks like our world, like not in a what's it called, but the government's always trying to do some like type stuff. Whereas even if I had a lightsaber, I wouldn't be able to stop them. So like,
yeah, I mean that show definitely had some social messages it was trying to say. But,
the Jedi, what is it? The animated stories on Disney Plus with the Jedis are dope. That one, I just watched that one. And it shows like Count Dooku's story.
For me,
dope.
I'm definitely more of that type of guy when it comes to Star Wars. It's like I prefer
like animated.
Well, no, I like Jedis, and I like I like the Force and all that stuff. And Andor was not that, but at the same time, I just thought the show was so well crafted. I couldn't even be mad at it.
And that's the thing about it, is I can agree that.
I said this to my friend Nick. We did a spoiler cast for it, but I said to him, like, I feel like Star Wars should be for kids, and Andor is not for kids.
No, it's not.
So that sucks. That being said, the show's amazing. Like that was kind of my take on the show.
See, no, that's what I think that they should do for everything. There should be a rated M Star Wars, rated R Star Wars, and a kids Star Wars.
Yeah.
There should be that's why I said I've always wanted to see an X-Men where you actually see Wolverine's claws kill people. Not people, but bad guys and stuff like that.
Which we got.
And some we got but I mean like in an animated sense.
Oh, gotcha.
Like like an anime. In the cartoon, he only cuts through robots and you stuff and stuff like that. And I want them to do like you could do a rated R version, then a regular version for the kids. There's nothing wrong. Do an adult one, do a kids one.
Especially Wolverine. He's such a graphic character in the comics.
Right. And they always try to use his healing factor and him getting messed up all the time. But they can do that. You can create two worlds to something. There's no reason. I mean, of course, it has to make money. If it doesn't make money, then it doesn't make sense. So
we're gonna see Wolverine get fucked up in the new movie. The new Deadpool. So
yeah,
we'll definitely.
I can't wait to see all of this. Yeah, I can't wait to see all of this.
Scared of that new Deadpool movie though, because I looked up who the director was, and I was like, ooh, no. But yeah, any final thoughts on the DCU situation?
I'm sad that I told myself I have to stop calling and guessing what the DCEU is doing. And now it seems I have to stop calling what the DCU is doing, because when I do it, I turn out right and the DCU is failing. So if I'm going to call it, I'm going to say this. James Gunn is going to kick ass. Peter Safran is going to write. Him and Peter Safran are going to write the greatest DC stories to our heroes. They are going to expand upon them. They are going to give us platitudes, brand new character arcs, story stuff we didn't see before. Make us feel feelings that we have felt that are old and new, as well as coming through on after the scene credits and making a brand new universe which expands through like Speed Force to everything that moves, it touches, that stands still. It still touches it because it's moving on this planet, yo. Okay, I believe in them, and I want other people to believe in them. Go and watch the movies that are going to be coming out. Enjoy them. They're making them for you. They're not making them for themselves. They're not putting personal things about their mom in it because their mother was their hero. They're making it for you. So fill up their Twitters. Let them know what you guys want to see. Maybe they won't be able to put in the plan now, but I promise you, they're going to be developing a plan for the entirety of the DCU, and it needs to continue and be big because they love to make money, and they're seeing that the MCU is making money. Why can't they make money?
Right.
So I believe in them. You guys should believe in them. Why would you want Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Cyborg, Martian Manhunter, Green Arrow, any of them to fail? We don't. So why do you want James Gunn to fail? You didn't want Zack Snyder to fail. Like, stop being a hater. So that's all I can say on the DCU. I'm glad to hear that we're getting a fresh start finally, and I'm glad if I'm able to feel my MCU Phase One glory for the first time. I watched Avengers with the Justice League. Can it be the? That's what I want to feel when I see X-Men. I want to feel that glory of damn, like that's the team right there. And I hope they do that. I know that James Gunn and Peter Safran are going to do that for the Justice League and make me feel that pride and like, oh yeah, it's about to go down. And that's all I can say about the DCU.
I'm gonna second your sentiments. I have a lot of faith in James Gunn, Peter Safran. James Gunn is a creative force, not to be reckoned with. I think my main the thing that I loved the most about the DCEU was the casting, and I think like the casting was perfect. I thought Ben Affleck as Batman was great, Gal Gadot was great, Margot Robbie, all of them were great. Hell, even up to The Rock, I think he was good casting for Black Adam. The guy who plays Shazam, all of them really great casting. And so I think that's the hardest part, is just seeing these great actors kind of lose their spot as these characters. But that being said, I understand why they have to make those hard decisions and why they just have to cut it off. Let's start fresh. I hope they take it slow and I hope they don't just pump things out and in 2024 we're getting like 12 movies. I hope that's not the case. I hope they take their time and
Right.
like they did with the phase 1 of the MCU. Give us Iron Man and then like 4 years later give us Captain America or whatever.
Mm,
So that's my hope. I appreciate you coming on the show again. You want to
I
give
got it.
yourself a shout out?
Like always, you guys know who I
Plug it
am,
up.
Jordan Blaine of New Comga. Check me out on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff, YouTube too. Thank you, Jake from Loadercast. You already know what it is. We talked about the DCU. We got it in. You guys have a great one. Stay positive and make sure you check us out.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's the end. That's my outro.